Murray with his hand in a cast. Moments ago, Coach Mularkey said Murray had a procedure on his hand and will be ready for camp. Here's DeMarco Murray.
It's just an old lingering finger from last year. Thought it would heal, but it didn't heal over the offseason like we expected. So could have nothing serious. Definitely, if there's a game, I would be playing. So
DeMarco had a little bit hand procedure. He should be ready to go. He wants to work next week. I'll see. But he should be out of the cast Monday. If not, he'll be back for camp. Obviously, he'll be ready for training camp.
Well, a perfect segue. Bob Stoops, the longest tenured coach in college football, has stepped down after 18 seasons with the Oklahoma Sooners. Stoops announced on Wednesday he joined the Sooners as a rookie head coach in 1999 and guided Oklahoma to the 2000 National Championship, 10 Big 12 titles, and 14 seasons with double-digit wins. How about this group that he sent off to the NFL? We took the liberty of putting together a starting 11 for this side of the ball. It would certainly be able to run with Adrian Peterson and DeMarco Murray in the backfield, Trent Williams and Lane Johnson anchoring the line. Stoops coached some great defenders as well. Safety Roy Williams, defensive tackles Gerald McCoy and Tommy Harris, and linebacker Curtis Lofton. What a huge difference college coaches can make, not only, of course, in educating young men, but also in getting these elite players ready for the NFL. What do the top-notch college coaches mean for the league?
Well, Wendy, I think, number one, obviously, they provide a pipeline for scouts and GMs to go into and really get players who have been taught some of the ways that they're going to have to conduct themselves at the NFL level, whether it be off the field or on the field, quite honestly. And I know Ryan's going to speak a little bit about his experiences with Nick Saban. And I can tell you, having gone down to Alabama numerous different times in a scouting capacity, and the Washington Post just wrote an article about this, just about how well prepared that Alabama players are. That's one of the number one things that they really do, is that these top programs, really from an NFL perspective, which is what we're talking about here, get guys ready so when they come to the NFL, there's really not that much that's new to them. I mean, Jonathan Allen talked about it this year, that it's a huge advantage going to play for guys like this, because the NFL then becomes about adjusting to, more about adult life, more about when you have so much free time on your hands, how to manage money, how to manage your family who are looking for money, how to set up, all those kinds of things are the things you're trying to learn about. But on the football field, you're ready to go. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's interesting, though, because these college coaches, that's not technically why they're there. College football is a huge business, and it means so much to these respective institutions. So they are there to win. How do you balance that, winning those games, Ryan, but also sort of allowing that some of these players will go on to play at the next level, and you want to help them do that as well?
Well, I got the Saban before the superstar Saban with the statue. When he came to LSU, I remember having to go meet him because I was the leader of the team. I was kind of the guy, and we get late into the season. It's bowl practice in my junior year. I'm all conference that year. And I missed a check, and I made pretty much every check the whole year. And he basically curses me out for 30 minutes because it was so important for me to be on point, because it trickled down to the rest of the team. And I take my pads off, I'm walking off the field, and I forgot how far the stadium was from the practice field. And so you have those moments, and then he brings you in to explain to you why he treated you that way, why he felt like he can tell me those things and the rest of the team could benefit from, and how he knew I could play afterwards. He also basically gave me a template for what my career was going to be my senior year. He's like, more guys that play for me who don't get drafted early, or in my case, who don't get drafted at all, play the years in the leagues because they will be prepared for what the NFL brings on the field, just as Lewis talked to you about earlier.
The other interesting role that these college coaches play is as an advocate or a campaigner, a champion of these top-notch players in the draft process, or when they're dealing with league personnel. JoJo, you, in your capacity as someone covering the draft, deal with these coaches in that way. How important is it?
Well, Lewis was talking about them not just being important as far as providing a pipeline for the prospects, but it's also the insight behind those prospects. I mean, you look at a guy like Mitchell Trubisky, quarterback coming out of North Carolina, and the conversations I had with Fedora, just trying to put into context those 13 starts that he had. And that's where you really need that feedback, because when the sample is so small, you're trying to really understand what is it that you're going to get out of that small body of work. And he was able to not only say that, but really also put into context for me how he feels like Mitchell Trubisky plays under pressure, because he struggled at the top of the season last year against Georgia and in the back 4 games to end the season in the bowl game, not ending it the way he wanted to. And one of the things Fedora was able to tell me is, I know that he didn't play the way that he wanted to, because the reality was he did have his NFL future on his mind. And then you're trying to figure out, well, how does that translate when the pressure's really on Sundays in the NFL too?
Yeah,
Well, a tremendous career for Bob Stoops, a big-time coaching family, of course. He said that health was not a factor and he wanted to be able to leave on his own terms. Not all of us get to do that, so a job